I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. We are once again continuing in Alma. We've read the preaching in the city of Ammonihah, Alma and Amulek. Some people are converted, they go home, they start searching the scriptures, their families are converted. Zeezrom is doing everything he can to save Alma and Amulek before he is physically thrown out of the city. Alma and Amulek are arrested, all the men who converted are thrown out of town, and all the women and children, all their wives and daughters who were taught by their husbands and fathers, they are cast into the fire and killed. Alma and Amulek are thrown into prison. That's where we left off. We pick this up, chapter 14. We're going to finish this chapter out, starting in verse 14. Now it came to pass that when the bodies of those who had been cast into the fire were consumed, and also the records which were cast in with them, the chief judge of the land came and stood before Alma and Amulek as they were bound. And he smote them with his hand upon their cheeks, and said unto them, After what ye have seen, will ye preach again unto this people, that they shall be cast into a lake of fire and brimstone? Behold, ye see that ye have not power to save those who have been cast into the fire. Neither has God saved them, because they were of thy faith. And the judge smote them again upon their cheeks, and asked, What say ye for yourselves? Now this judge was after the order and faith of Nehor, who slew Gideon. And it came to pass that Alma and Amulek answered him nothing. And he smote them again, and delivered them to the officers to be cast into prison. And when they had been cast into prison 3 days, there came many lawyers and judges and priests and teachers who were of the profession of Nehor. And they came in unto the prison to see them, and they questioned them about many words, but they answered them nothing. And it came to pass that the judge stood before them and said, Why do you not answer the words of this people? Know ye not that I have power to deliver you up unto the flames? And he commanded them to speak, but they answered nothing. And it came to pass that they departed and went their ways, but came again on the morrow. And the judge also smote them again on their cheeks. And many came forth also and smote them, saying, Will ye stand again and judge this people and condemn our law? If ye have such great power, why do ye not deliver yourselves? And many such things did they say unto them, gnashing their teeth upon them, and spitting upon them, and saying, How shall we look when we are damned? And many such things, yea, all manner of such things did they say unto them, and thus they did mock them for many days. And they did withhold food from them, that they might hunger, and water, that they might have thirst. And they also did take from them their clothes, that they were naked. And thus they were bound with strong cords, and confined in prison. And it came to pass, after they had thus suffered for many days, and it was on the 12th day, in the 10th month, in the 10th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi, that the chief judge over the land of Ammonihah, and many of their teachers and their lawyers went in unto the prison where Alma and Amulek were bound with cords. And the chief judge stood before them and smote them again, and said unto them, If ye have the power of God, deliver yourselves from these bands. And then we will believe that the Lord will destroy this people according to your words. And it came to pass that they all went forth and smote them, saying the same words, even until the last. And when the last had spoken unto them, the power of God was upon Alma and Amulek. And they rose and stood upon their feet. And Alma cried, saying, How long shall we suffer these great afflictions, O Lord? O Lord, give us strength according to our faith which is in Christ, even unto deliverance. And they broke the cords with which they were bound. And when the people saw this, they began to flee, for the fear of destruction had come upon them. And it came to pass that so great was their fear that they fell to the earth and did not obtain the outer door of the prison. And the earth shook mightily, and the walls of the prison were rent in twain, so that they fell to the earth. And the chief judge and the lawyers and priests and teachers who smote upon Alma and Amulek were slain by the fall thereof. And Alma and Amulek came forth out of the prison, and they were not hurt, for the Lord had granted unto them power according to their faith which was in Christ. And they straightway came forth out of the prison, and they were loosed from their bands, and the prison had fallen to the earth, and every soul within the walls thereof, save it were Alma and Amulek, were slain. And they straightway came forth into the city. Now the people, having heard a great noise, came running together by multitudes to know the cause of it. And when they saw Alma and Amulek coming forth out of the prison, and the walls thereof had fallen to the earth, They were struck with great fear and fled from the presence of Alma and Amulek, even as a goat fleeth with her young from two lions. And thus they did flee from the presence of Alma and Amulek. Not a whole lot to say about this chapter. We all know this. Well, it's another, again, well-known story. We'll say that. Now, why did the Lord wait so long to deliver Alma and Amulek? It says after 3 days, they were thrown in prison initially. The first time they were smacked around, that was at the burning. They hadn't yet been thrown into prison. They had just seen all those who had repented get burned in the fire, get consumed. And the chief judge comes over at that time and smacks them around a bit and then throws them in prison. 3 days later, a bunch of judges and priests and all come in, smack them around a bit. They don't say a word. The next day, they come back, smack them around a bit more. They don't say a word. For several days this goes on. Why for so long? We're not told exactly how long, but why for so long? I think it was God was waiting for all the leaders to come in. See, the big guys came in. They smacked them around. Now, after several days, the people are feeling confident that Alma and Amulek have no power. And they bring all the leaders in, all the judges, all the lawyers, all the priests, all the teachers. All these guys are now in. This is the final time. They're all going to come in, and they're going to get their turn smacking Alma and Amulek around. It's become a good sport to them. God has waited for them all to come in, so that when he does deliver Alma and Amulek, all of the leaders of the city are killed. I think there's a lesson for us here. Alma and Amulek had to wait several days in just persecution, torment, before they were delivered. Now, I'm not saying they displayed quite the patience of Job. Job, he's still the epitome of patience other than Christ. But under this kind of persecution, a lot of people in the modern day, they start to question, they start to doubt. Why is God letting me suffer? Maybe the whole thing's wrong. Maybe God's not there because I'm suffering. But we should always remember God is there. And eventually, if we are faithful, we will be delivered. But I leave that here, and we will be reading chapter 15 next, and then we will return to the story of the sons of Mosiah. So I'll see you there.